I saw her before I even reached my car. Karen Winters, our HOA president, was standing next to my vehicle with her arms crossed. She had that smug look, the one that usually preceded a lecture about trash cans or grass height. Then I saw the two halves of my veteran parking permit fluttering on the asphalt. Torn right down the middle. "Nice try," she said with a smirk, tapping her foot. "Real veterans aren't your age. Did you think nobody would notice your little scam?" I bent down to pick up the pieces. This permit had taken weeks to process after 3 tours in Afghanistan. My hands were steady, but inside, I was seething. "I'm reporting you for fraud," she continued, pulling out her phone. "Stealing valor is disgusting. People like you make me sick." Just then, the distant wail of sirens cut through the air. Karen's eyes widened, but she didn't move. She thought those sirens were for me.
"I'm Alex Mitchell.
Retired Army Sergeant. Medically discharged at 32 after an IED took out our convoy.
3 tours. 2 Purple Hearts.
And a back that will never be the same. I moved into Oak Ridge Estates 6 months ago looking for peace. The HOA had designated veteran parking spots, a godsend on days when walking felt like glass in my spine. My first week there, Karen approached me as I was getting out of my car. "Those spots are for veterans only, young man." "I am a veteran, ma'am," I said, pointing to the mirror. She squinted at me like I was a counterfeit bill. "You look awfully young to be disabled. And your haircut isn't even military regulation." I explained I'd been out for a year. She just huffed and walked away. I didn't know then that she'd just started a personal vendetta against my existence. Within weeks, notes started appearing under my wipers. "Stolen valor isn't a joke. Park where civilians belong." She started taking photos of my plates. I even showed her my actual military ID. "That could be fake," she insisted. "People buy those online all the time." The escalation reached the HOA meeting. "We have someone in Building C fraudulently using a veteran's permit," she announced to the whole room. The silence was uncomfortable. An older man, a Vietnam vet, approached me afterward. "Don't let her get to you, son. Some people just need to control the world." But Karen didn't want to control the world. She wanted to expose me. Which brings us back to that Wednesday afternoon. I caught her in the act. She was leaning into my window, pulling the permit off the dash and snapping it. "What are you doing?" I called out, quickening my pace despite the sharp pain in my back. "I'm protecting real veterans," she shouted. "Young people like you shouldn't be taking spots from the disabled." "I am a disabled veteran," I said, my voice level. "And you just destroyed federal property." "Prove it," she sneered. "Show me your combat scars. You walk too fine to need special parking." She didn't notice the young woman on the balcony above us, phone in hand, recording every word. Karen was so loud, so convinced of her own righteousness, that she didn't realize she was filming her own downfall. "I got everything on video, sir." The neighbor called down. "Do you want me to send it?" Karen's head snapped up. The righteous defender mask slipped. I didn't wait. I filed the police report and sent the video to the VA and a veterans advocacy group. By morning, it was everywhere. 2 officers arrived at my door for a statement. While I was talking to them, a second patrol car pulled up to Karen's unit. I watched from my window. Karen was gesturing wildly, pointing at my apartment, screaming about parking fraud. Then, the tone changed. Her face drained of color as the officer pulled out the handcuffs. "This is ridiculous," she shouted. "I was just doing my duty. I was protecting real veterans." The officer who took my statement shook his head. "She's being charged with vandalism, harassment, and violation of federal protections for disabled veterans." 2 weeks later, Karen stood before a judge. He was a veteran himself. He wasn't interested in her HOA rules defense. The sentence was a masterpiece. A $5,000 fine, 2 years of probation, and 200 hours of community service at the local VA hospital. She was also required to take a course on the Americans with Disabilities Act. The look on her face when she realized she'd have to serve the very people she claimed to protect was something I'll never forget. "But I was right," she exclaimed as her lawyer hushed her. She wasn't right. She was just loud. My new permit arrived yesterday. I parked in my spot, tipped my hat to the neighbor on the balcony, and finally felt that peace I'd been looking for. Because at Oak Ridge Estates, the only thing exposed was Karen Winters.